All right, so today we're going to talk about the next step in the process, and that is hosting a happy hour. So we're going to talk about what is a happy hour. We're going to talk about tips for planning and hosting that happy hour. We're going to talk about 2 different ways that you can host. You can do it online or in person. We're going to talk about steps to getting that happy hour scheduled, how to invite, and how to run a happy hour. So first of all, what is a happy hour? I know when I first started, I didn't really know what that meant. And even though it's in your new, specialist folder, right? I was like, what is this? Do they literally put alcohol with the drinks and have people over? Like, that's what I thought it was. And I thought that was strange. So that's not what it is. I guess you can try that, but that's not entirely what it is. But it's basically how we party at Soul, right? So in other network marketing companies, they may have parties or events, but it's the way we introduce Soul Naturals for the first time, okay? It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's not like you have to have dinner and dessert and it needs to be a 3-hour event in your home. It doesn't. That was really weird. Sorry, okay. It doesn't have to be super extravagant. It can actually be really simple. And actually, the more simple it is, the better. So there are 2 ways that we can host a happy hour. And for a lot of us on our team, a lot of us do it online and via Facebook. It is a great way to reach people all over the US and Canada. You don't have to just stick to the people that live close to you. And basically what we do is we open a private Facebook group, and then there's a series of posts with images and live videos that kind of guides people through the process of learning about our products. The other way to do this is in person, and this is where you would invite your friends or your family to your home. You would serve a drink. I suggest you pick one, either Vital or Cinemate, and you verbally share the products. Okay, so Soul has given us a guide, a happy hour guide, to show you how to do this, especially if you're doing it from your home. So let's talk about inviting people to your online event. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you are brand new to Soul and you've never hosted a happy hour before, and you're just now getting started, I suggest that you do a couple of different things. Number 1, I suggest that you reach out to your friends and family. Either you send them a private message or you pick up the phone and call them. Don't, the value of that is huge. And just say, hey, I just started this new business and I would love it if you would come and support me as I share my first presentation. Just to have the support and just so I can, get that out there. And it would be much more comfortable for me to do that in front of my friends and family. That's one of those things that pretty much works one time and one time only. Because people are willing to help and support you when you first start a business. But then from there, we need to start having new traffic continually coming in to our happy hours. So what I usually suggest is that we create a post with a call to action, which we've talked about. As people respond to that call to action, we reach out and send a message, which we've also talked about. And we have that conversation that leads to an invite, which is, hey, I have this event coming up Thursday night. It's going to talk about this. Would you like to come? And when they agree to attend, you give them all the details to the group. So if it's personally in your town, at your home, you could be like, hey, it's going to be at my house Thursday at 7 p.m. Just bring yourself. Or you can say, hey, here's the link to the Facebook group where we're going to have this event. So I have a couple of other, I forgot I put these in here, but if you're going to invite people to your house in person, I really strongly suggest you pick up the phone and call. This is your warm market, so your invite needs to be more personal. So for an example, and just so you know, this example comes straight from your happy hour guide. And there's more examples in there where you could say, hey, Sarah, I'm having a celebration at my place on Friday at 7 p.m. I am inviting friends over to celebrate getting my health back, or I started working from home, or I found a new job that I love. Can you make it? And when they say, yes, I can do that, great, see you then. If they say, no, I can't do that Friday night, no problem. I'll probably have another one of these in the future. Would it be okay if I invited you to one in the future? Okay. Most people aren't going to be like, no, you're a jerk, especially if they're your friends. They might, but they probably won't. I think that's always our fear. It's like, what if they say no, don't ever talk to me ever again? That's never happened to me. I don't think that's happened to anybody. So especially when it's your warm market and it's somebody you know. When we're setting up our happy hour on Facebook, we are going to open a private Facebook group. We're going to add a description and a cover image. And just so you know, we have created these for you. So literally all you have to do is copy and paste. As you invite your guests to join the group, you're going to give them the link to the group. Now, I don't suggest that you just start adding people to the group, okay? Facebook doesn't like that. People don't like that. The better way to do that is to have that conversation and share the direct link to that group. And if you don't know how to do that, whenever you open the group, whatever that URL is up there, you just click it, copy it, and say, hey, my happy hour group is open. Here's the link. Come on over and join us, okay? And when they join it themselves. You should open the group one day before the happy hour. That's a great time because we talked about when you're having that call to action post, you're only posting that like a couple days before your happy hour. But if they're just sitting in there for several days doing nothing, they're going to totally turn out. So if you can say, okay, it's going to be Thursday, the happy hour is Thursday. So I'm going to open the group on Wednesday and then start sending everybody the link to join. First of all, now they know it's happening tomorrow. So there's some excitement in that. They're not going to forget about it. It's not open too long. And then you can make sure that you get everybody into the group by the time your happy hour starts. So let's talk about some tips for running your happy hour. I would say pick a time that works for you. I used to be so super concerned with, I don't know, what if so-and-so can't come at this time? No, I pick a time that works for me in my schedule, okay? The great thing about running something on Facebook is that if they can't come at 5 p.m. on a Monday night, they can watch it after work. They can watch it the next day, right? So they can kind of come in at their own convenience. Soul really wants this to be an hour-long event, okay? So that's why they call it a happy hour. Now, I know that we sometimes have some group things that maybe go a couple of days, but the intention of a happy hour is literally that it's 1 hour long, okay? So what you want to do is you want to kick things off with a welcome post and introduce yourself. You can even do this when you open the group the day before. It's always really fun too with that welcome post. Hi, my name is Tiffany DeLuisi. I've been with Soul for 3.5 years now. I'm also a boy mom. You know, whatever you want to say about them. And then you could say, hey, I'd love it if you'd introduce yourself in the comments below. This is a great way to get people active and engaged and introducing themselves before you start the actual, bye, sweetie. Before you start the actual happy hour. So what we did is we set up a schedule of posts. So it's going to be post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4 in an order that works, that kind of introduces them to Soul, introduces them to the Bella package, and then tells them how to order. So basically what you're going to do is you can put your posts up every 3 to 5 minutes. And there's going to be, what we decided to do is there's going to be 2 to 3 posts per product. So there's going to be a post that says, this is what Soul Natural is. There's going to be the post that introduces yourself and your story with Soul. And then we're going to talk about each of these products. We are going to have short little posts because people are more likely to read short little posts than long novels. Okay, as much as I would love them to read my long novels, they're more likely to read a short little post with an image. So they'll have 2 or 3 posts per an image. We actually have videos from the company, from Vital and Cinemate. So one of those posts is going to be those little short little commercial videos. Then we want to wrap up the end of our happy hour with a Facebook Live, not a Facebook Living, but a Facebook Live. And we want to thank our guests for attending, and we want to tell them how to order. Part of this Facebook Live is that you want to tell your story. And part of telling your story is saying, like, is basically giving a testimonial. So giving a testimonial is before Soul, what was going on with you? I was really struggling with my sleep. I had a lot of anxiety and depression. I had high blood pressure. Whatever it is, okay? Then you want to tell about your experience taking Soul for the first time, okay? What was it like? What were the changes that you were seeing in your body and yourself? And then your after is like where you are now, and possibly even why you decided to join Soul Naturals. This should be quick and easy. You should be able to give this testimonial in about 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Then after we wrap up that happy hour, that's when we're going to start having follow-up conversations with each of your guests. You can't just assume that because you put a post in a group that someone's going to be like, okay, I'm ready to buy. You need to have those conversations. That's part of having a good sales, okay, is having those conversations. Will there be people that'll just be like, tell me how to buy? Yes. But more likely than not, you're going to have that follow-up conversation. Now, if you remember when we had the invite conversation, we said, can you do me a favor? Do you mind if after the happy hour event, I follow up with you and get your feedback on the event? And they said, yes. Okay. So that opens the door so they know, they're anticipating that you're going to follow up with them. And this is going to be our next training. Okay. So now I want to give you some tips for holding your happy hour in person. I suggest that you share one drink to share with your guests, either Vital or Cinemate. You want to use your happy hour guide that came with your kit, because this guide walks you through the whole process, literally from inviting to what to say at your party and that sort of thing. Now, we really want to focus on the Bella package because that is part of our system. And so I'm just going to pick out the 4 products in the Bella package to share with my guests. I would probably have those products on display so people can see them. But once again, this event should be 1 hour long. People come in, they enjoy a beverage, and kind of your talking points are going to be kind of short and simple, right? Just enjoy yourself, ask questions, that sort of thing. And keep it 1 hour long. So some additional tips in planning your happy hour. You want to do it at a time that's convenient for you, or it'll be convenient for the people you're inviting. Okay, so if I'm having it in my home and I'm a stay-at-home mom, but all of my friends work, 9 a.m. on a Monday probably isn't going to be good for anybody, right? So you also kind of have to look at your audience. So yes, I pick a time that works best for me, but I also know, because I've done the research, is that sometimes the best time to have these things online is a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening, okay? That's when people are most likely to check in and do their things. I've been doing these. I've been having happy hours. I've been having webinars for years now. And I can tell you the most successful times are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings, usually around 6 to 7 your central time, okay? Remember that you can host this party online or in person. Bigger doesn't mean better, right? It doesn't have to be a large group of people. Sometimes the smaller, the more intimate it is, maybe the better it is. Okay, so don't be like, oh, only 2 people are coming, I have to cancel. No, you continue with it. Okay, you want to plan and host them often so that you, so if someone can't make it on one day, you always have something to follow up with. Sorry, I can't make it this week. Great. Well, could you make it next week? Because I have another event next week, right? So when we always have something to invite people to, we can always be having conversations. We can always be inviting them to a happy hour. Okay. The other thing I just want to kind of add to this is that you don't have to do this alone, right? You have an upline that can help you with your first happy hour. In Soul and in this team, we really believe in having success partners. You can run these with a success partner. Every single month, we have a happy hour that we do as a group, so that can count as one. As you start getting members and as you start having happy customers, then you're going to invite them to be a hostess and host their own happy hours. And then it's going to become like a habit of part of your, income producing activities that you're doing on a regular basis. Okay, so coming up, sorry, we're going to have have a training on how to have a follow-up conversation that leads to a sale. We're going to talk about converting that happy hour guest into a member, which kind of goes along with having that follow-up conversation. How do you have the sales conversation? And we're also going to talk about how to share the Bella brochure in a 10-minute video. So we've talked before, like, I don't have a happy hour coming up in the next 2 to 3 days, but I still want to have a conversation with somebody. Well, this is when we can share the brochure in the 10-minute video. So we're going to talk about that strategy as well. So your homework is that I want you to schedule a happy hour. Okay. If you need help, reach out to your upline, reach out to your success partner if you have one, and set it up. In fact, I'd like you to set it up within the next week to 10 days. Don't wait for us to have a group happy hour. You can do this. You can team up with somebody else and have your own happy hour. Start with the inviting. You can make a post with a call to action and follow up on Messenger. You can get on the phone or send a personal message if this is your first happy hour and start inviting people to join you. And like I already said, plan to have that happy hour within the next week to 10 days.